And we are live. I'd like to welcome you guys to the first session of Mage 20th Anniversary Edition. Today we will be playing a awakening scene featuring my friends Andrew Wood and Vanessa. Uh, and so this game takes place in Atlanta, Georgia, and let's get this started. Okay, so our scene begins within a field of static. It's a field of possibility and chaos known as a Tellurian, a set piece upon which we will begin our story. Suddenly, this field of static changes to a sign, WSB TV, Channel 2 Action News Atlanta, with a news alert. Um, the first image that you see is of a scene of chaos and destruction. A field crews of ambulances and construction workers hurry to and fro around a scene of absolute destruction. Concrete and bent steel is littered across a massive field on the side of the I-75-85 highway. It looks to be a scene of some sort of awful event that has taken place as construction workers dig through the mass of steel and concrete looking for bodies. Uh, our a man, a reporter, stands before a camera crew. Fred Blankenship. He's reporting to you at the scene of the Atlantic Station collapse. Hundreds of deaths have been confirmed at the scene, with many more missing. Fred, what is it like down there? And then it switches to another reporter who's standing at the ground of the scene. Thanks, Aaron. It's a scene of absolute carnage and chaos out here as rescue crews make a valiant effort to dig through the rubble of the collapse. There's no word as yet what caused a popular retail shopping and living district to collapse. As you know, the Atlantic Station complex was built over the site of an old Atlanta steel mill, but stood for at least a decade until this tragedy. We are going to remain here around the clock to give news updates as they come in. Back to you, Aaron. Then you see the camera flash as another news alert pops up. This time, another reporter who's at the scene of the news station. Word has come through a recent string of murders of minority families across the Atlanta metropolitan area. Police are investigating numerous hate groups as suspects of the crime. Like the previous three murders, burned crosses were found on the front yards of the murdered victims. Inside the homes is a grisly scene. The families appear to have been executed in a ritualized manner that is both grisly and methodical. Police are on high alert as the governor has issued a state of emergency. Then you see the camera flash again back to the news station. Another reporter. I'm here at the site of what remains at the methamphetamine lab hidden in the Littleton County nursing home. The building has been evacuated. And they flash to another reporter who's at the scene of a burnt-out room with walls that have been scorched black by what has apparently been an explosion. All these appliances and furnitures have been covered in soot and are broken pieces of glass lay strewn about the floor. Authorities are investigating this as a homicide. Methamphetamine use has rocked numerous counties in the surrounding metropolitan area. Police officials are investigating the matter and questioning the nursing home staff. And then you see the flash of static fill the screen again that gradually fades into another scene. This one, relative calm compared to the chaos that seems to be happening around the city. The sky is of aquamarine blue, unmarred by clouds, silent save for the distant roar of many voices. Slowly, our camera descends down from the clouds, capturing a scene of a wide expanse of green. This is the Georgia rural area, and it is a very green place. In the uh, middle of that field of greenery and forest, you see a massive a massive coliseum-like structure. This is the Dixie Speedway, and it is the source of jubilation and noise from miles around as the stadium is filled to the brim with people who've gathered to watch today's race. Today it is the Petite Le Mans prototype class NASCAR speed race. And the roar of the idling engines of many vehicles organized in their starting positions as they prepare to begin the race. As you approach, as the camera gets closer to the cars, the sound of the engines overwhelms even the loud noise of the many chanting and drunk viewers of the race. Anticipation can be felt like electricity in the air. And then our camera cuts again inside your vehicle, Lukas. As you sit inside with your helmet, you can hear nothing except for the low buzz of your engine and the radio inside your headset spring to life. It is the voice of your close friend and colleague, the leader of your pit crew, Phil Davis. He speaks to you one last time to check to see if you're ready for the race that's about to begin. So I'd like you to first describe your character, Andrew.
You're going to see the picture there. Let me hold up. It's a bit larger.
Can you describe your character, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
Just put the picture up while I do that to help a better view. There we go. It's only showing us downside. So, all right. Well, I have brown eyes and light brown hair. About 6'3", good muscle tone, with a bit of a svelte build. Wearing bead necklaces. I have my helmet on over my glasses. Wearing my flame retardant driving outfit, gripping the wheel, ready to go. Intensity, not even shielded by the glasses themselves. I'm ready to kick ass. I have a certain 3-day scruff on my face and a strong angularity to my features. I'm a very good-looking man with a 4 appearance, which helps to contrast my rugged, redneckish like continence, as I am very much from the South. You understand, and that mixes with the determination and grit on my face to dominate and win and prove that I am the best at this race this time.
The weight of the crowd's adoration is seemingly focused upon you because you are the hometown boy, you're the hometown hero, and everyone wants you to win this race. Phil speaks to you one last time before the race is about to begin. Hey, Lukas, man, are you ready to get this shit started?
Well, yeah, we got this, doggy. We're gonna get it done.
Yeah, man, you're gonna crush all the rest of these guys. They don't know who they're messing with.
Well, you
and so you scan out.
Well,
your eyes scan out around the horizon.
We got Michael Brown over there. What do you think? They gonna touch me? They gonna touch the dirt from the back of this? Oh, Charlie, you understand me? Listen up now, Phil. We're going to put these boys in the dust and the dirt. They're going to be picking back bugs off their windshield, but they surely ain't going to finish in front of me. Might lap these boys 7 times before I'm done here. Hold on. I roll the window down, spit the chaw
out. Your spit lands on one of the other driver's cars. You can see him through the window look at you with a look of anger and irritation. And
hey,
so,
fuck you, man!
As you pull down your window, The acrid smell of oil and gasoline is familiar to you as it fills your nostrils. It's pleasurable to you because to you that's the aroma of victory. And so you look forward at all the other cars, and this isn't just some normal NASCAR race. This is a new class of racing, the prototype class NASCAR speed race, where the most high tech and powerful vehicles have begun to take popularity within the NASCAR community. Describe your car for us, because all the cars look just a little bit more different from the average NASCAR race, where all the cars tend to have a very similar shape and build. Your car it has been one that was worked on by you and your pit crew, and it is a custom designed vehicle that has been adorned with the numerous sponsors, all Georgia local businesses who put their name to yours because they're confident in your ability and your powerful machine. So describe that machine for us.
Absolutely. It is neon green and duck hunting orange, baby. It has Bob's House of Pancakes, Daniel Carver's Roofing, John Johnson's Painting Supplies Incorporated LLC plastered right over the front of the vehicle. It is, of course, the number 14 car and has a huge exhaust pipe chromed out, exhaust pipe, as are the wheels with high, thick rims. There's a big, right on the back, there's a big Confederate flag, and it says "Made in Georgia" right across the back of it. Copenhagen, a small sponsorship from Copenhagen, chewing tobacco, also on the left passenger side of the vehicle. And I pulled a dip. I dipped the dip. The very back, the name of the car, Moonshine Racer.
Moonshine Racer.
That's right.
Your vehicle is the crowd favorite by far. You have numerous signs in the crowd and people hooting and hollering your name. Chants begin of Lukas, just as the model whose job it is to signal the beginning of the race. She walks out and gets into the middle of the road between the line of vehicles with her checkered flag. And as she moves, posing each time, the siren changes from red to light red to yellow, and then finally your adrenaline pumps through your veins just as the countdown descends finally to green, and you hear that siren scream, and the race begins, and you shoot off as well as every other car besides you. So I'm going to ask you for a driving plus dex roll, please. Difficulty 7.
Difficulty 7, okay. Okay. See how many dice I have. Driving is good. And I have a specialty here as well.
Oh, hell yeah. So,
yeah, so that's a specialty is going to reduce my difficulties by 1, or what?
I think it just makes your dice explode on 10s. That's what, at least when you have like a 4 and then like you have like a specialty in that thing, it makes your dice explode.
1, 2, 3, and I get another one.
Woo! And your dice explode.
I got 4 successes total.
Okay. All right.
1, 7, and a 10.
All right. Well, you explode out of the gate, weaving easily through all the other cars to take first place with a distinct lead as you explode out far in front of all the other cars. It doesn't even seem to be a competition at this point. As you easily take the lead, screaming down with your window open to receive the adoration of the crowd as everyone gets to their feet in shouts of applause and copious amounts of moonshine drinking in the stands in celebration to what seems to be an awesome start to this race. And so you're not even fighting for advancement as you hurtle out of the gate. You easily take the first turn, holding your distinct lead, except for one vehicle that also pulls out in front of the rest. So as you look into your rear view mirror, as you speed down the racetrack, you see the famous number 9 shooting star. You've raced against this mechanical beast many times before, and this is the mechanical beast of your rival, only known as Racer X. What had been a concept car manufactured by General Motors made its debut in the NASCAR prototype class only a year ago, and since that year, this guy has been the one who you mainly had to compete with in all of your races. Your primary rival and your main opponent, the Yellow Beast resembles the shape similar to that of an arrowhead on wheels. It's a sleek design indicative of its awesome acceleration and handling. You've seen no vehicle like it before, and despite the fact that you have what is clearly one of the best cars on the market, this one you've always marveled at its strange design. Most racers, beside yourself, who is in first place, can't get a lead on it. So for the moment, it seems like a competition between you and the shooting star. You know that the name of this name of the Racer X is Tom Philhold. He's a test driver from Europe. He's everything that you're not. Where you are the southern hometown boy, he is a European dandy. And you both jockey for position as he pulls up behind you and tries to use your car's draft in order to accelerate and pull ahead. Okay, so you guys start to vie for the first place position, and it's difficult. Eventually, all the other cars begin to catch up, but you pull ahead again, and he gets in front of you just for a moment as all the other cars begin to catch up. Eventually, you guys go around to lap the other vehicles as you guys jockey for position. So you find yourself, you and him, as you struggle for first place, coming behind the rest of the vehicles who's you're still ahead of, even though you're now behind them since you've begun to lap them. And so this gives Tom, Racer X, an opportunity. So he pulls up, he weaves through some of the vehicles that you guys have begun to lap, and he veers hard and nudges one and hits it. Hits one of the vehicles, causing a chain reaction. Suddenly, one of the cars hits one other car, and that car tips over on its side, creating a wall of carnage and death and crashes that also get the crash-adoring crowd to stand up and shout. But even though it's entertaining for them, it's not so entertaining for you. I want you to give me an awareness plus wits to notice the crash coming.
All right. Well, before that's going on, I'm radioing over to Phil. Well, this old European guy, he's gonna try to think he come in here and do this better than those old country boys, Phil. What you think about that now, baby? What do you look at that car racer butt sex? You think he can drive fast?
Are you asking Phil?
Yeah, over there.
Okay. Yeah. We don't know a lot about this guy, man. He's I've never seen anything like his car. It handles better than any car should. And if we could only figure out what was going on inside that thing, that old fancy European technology, they don't want to share it. It's not. They got all this money, got General Motors and Monsanto and Apple, all these so-called American companies. They going overseas and putting their money with him instead of with you. And so that's why he got all this new fancy technology. No car should move like that. But let me tell you what, right here, it don't matter what kind of car he's driving. You are the son of Georgia, you understand? And that means that nothing he can do. Oh, watch out, man! Watch out! Oh. And so he sees
But before it's coming, I'm like, yeah, racing butt sex ain't got nothing on me. I can drive in a straight line fast. I can turn left faster than anybody out there, and I'm gonna do it because a country boy can't goddamn well survive, baby. And I do. I drive fast, a straight line, and turn left very hard. And yes, that's coming up. Did you say awareness?
Awareness plus
you have to be like supernatural to have that. You mean alertness?
Oh, awareness?
Yeah, that's what awareness is.
Well, awareness is, I think, one of your normal things, or maybe it's perception. I'm sorry.
Alertness
perception.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah. Just whatever your perception is. I'm going to lower your difficulty.
I have alertness perception. That's what I have.
What?
Once you become a mage, you could possibly develop awareness, but that's not something a regular human has.
Oh, okay, my bad.
He hasn't come into that.
Yeah, so what
was the difficulty you said?
What's like your normal perception roll? Is it just perception?
Perception alertness.
Perception alertness. Yeah.
Already rolled it. Yeah. It's I got an 8 and a 9. I don't know what you said.
Okay, that's easily 2 successes. So you notice the maneuver that Tom, aka Racer X, is trying to pull and causing a crash in front of you. But you are able to see it coming, and so I want you to, so you manage to avoid that crash as you see a car skip on its side and flip all the way over you as you manage to slide under it as you take that turn and you slide in front of Tom as he had to divert his own vehicle to try to make the crash happen. And so in trying to make that crash, he actually manages to lose the brief lead he had. You manage to take first place once again. And so once he does that, once you pull...
I'm going to do that deal where I keep getting right in front of him and kind of slowing down and fucking with him and trying to throw him off. I'm going to really become very aggressive. Oh, this old boy don't know what he got. Oh, he doesn't know what he's going to do, trying to crash these good old boys down as he's done. No. That's just not what we're going to happen. We ain't going to have no French tickler winning races around here. You get what I'm saying? Hell, and I roll the window down.
You get what you're saying.
Like 200 miles around and plonk a huge thing of jaw right back there trying to get it on his windshield.
As you manage to avoid the crash, Phil, your pit crew leader, he can't hold back the jubilation at the intense maneuver that you just pulled. So he's going, "Woo! That's how you do it now, there, boy." And so then you manage to take first place. I want you to describe how you finish this race because you've taken first and you've taken it by a large margin. You represented you represented the South in shining colors today. And the crowd is losing their minds collectively to see how well you dominated the most difficult and extreme class of NASCAR racing.
So I'm up there to have a microphone at this point?
I want you to finish the race, but you're going to also get a microphone.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to sing after the race.
Don't worry, that's coming.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I blow right past the line. They're dropping the checkered flag. The people are going wild in the stands, seeing Lukas bring home blazing the Confederate flag on the back, the Moonshine Racer, Moonshine Nation, and all the Moonshineaholics are screaming, "Nash, Nash, 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 whoop that ass." And indeed, the frogman from the English part of France has been destroyed and defeated from all his European cohorts. And as he comes in, I flip him the double bird like that, and I'll be getting out of a Moonshine Racer at the appropriate point. Going over, I grab the blonde hair girl that dropped it. I give her a big kiss. I move over to ascend to the victory to gain my championship.
You stand atop a pedestal, and you are surrounded by a legion of camera crews who are jockeying and fighting one another just to get the best shot of you that they can. As you stand atop that pedestal, you're handed a bouquet of flowers and a microphone with to which to address your adoring fans as colored streamers fall from the sky, and a trophy is set at your feet. With a large cup beset on all sides by first reporters and then a crowd trying to fight the reporters just to get a good look at you. So many questions are being thrown at you that it becomes a haze of noise. The camera focuses on you, as they are wont to do, as your image is broadcast across the net and across the world to show the dominance of the Southern boy, of the Southern hero. So you have the microphone. Address your crowd.
All right. Charlie Daniels Band and Country Boy Casanova plays over the house speaker system. I raise up a can, hold the microphone in the other hand, and I say, well, I guess they probably have someone holding the microphone, actually. Hold the microphone up to me. I have the trophy in the other hand, a can of Copenhagen tobacco in my other hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take me a big plug off this Copenhagen. What I'm going to do is raise this chalice of victory up to the heavens, and I'm going to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm going to knock back a bunch of Bud Light. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to get tore up, crunk from the floor up, and I want to hear about their Moonshine Nation! Moonshine!
And you hear the crowd respond, Moonshine Nation!
Hell, I might just drink some moonshine running out of this, going down my Uncle Pete's. I don't really care, and I'm going to say this to you over there, to you, you French little bitch, Tom. I'm going to say
point, he has his helmet off, and he's a tall man with brown hair, with a very chiseled, angular facial structure, and he initially had intended on coming by and shaking your hand, but at this point he just has a look of complete indignation as he gazes. Can't even approach his second place spot due to the throng of reporters and fans. He can't even approach to claim his second place position.
You've given me a better idea. Hold on, I didn't have that description in mind. Move back. Let Tom get on up here. Let Tom get on up here to get your position. You use a lot of maneuvers over there. I like to bring you over here and give you my congratulations for the race you raced. And I appear all humble and genuine. With the Southern
okay, so he approaches kind of unsure about what's about to happen. He looks like
smile at him real friendly.
He perhaps looks like he just swallowed something sour, and he takes his position on the second place, and he extends his hand towards you in a handshake.
Okay, as he extends a hand, I say, I'd like to, first, I go like I'm going to shake his hand, but slowly, I say, first, I'd like to thank your mama for being a dirty bitch. Second of all, I'd like to thank her for teaching you to race, because I know no man taught you to race like that, boy, and if you got a problem with it, I got something else for you. And I drop both birds right in his face.
You know, I was going to approach you as a man and as a fellow racer, but it seems that you are just a barbarian. You are not worth my time. He turns around and tries to walk away.
I took the chalice that has recently been filled up with some Bud Light fill, and it goes right on his head. The Bud Light crashing down. See me, you dirty son of a whore! And the Bud Light
just he turns around and he's
first time a real man's alcohol been in your face, boy. Ain't got none of that goddamn white wine spritzer for you.
And so he looks absolutely enraged. But at this point, his pit crew comes by and they're holding him back, even as a chalice is still planted on his head. He can't even move his arms to either flail to try to strike you or to try to
hold that old boy back. You feel froggy. Come on, jump. Ain't nothing but air and motherfucking goddamn opportunity. Praise Jesus' name.
Okay, at this point, they're literally dragging him to keep him from doing something that would make the situation worse. And okay, all right.
I'll look up to the crowd and I'm style on his ass. I'm gonna say, "Well, Frenchie, it looks like a redneck Just put your ass in check.
Okay, and so all right, after this incredible scene that is now being played on repeat on ESPN, ESPN2, Channel 2 Action News, and every major broadcast facility in the world on repeat, both in America, Europe, Asia, everywhere. Everyone has seen what has just happened across the world, and so after we repeat the scene of you dumping that child on top of this guy, on top of Tom Philholt's head multiple times, our scene fades this time to one that is perhaps a little bit more calm, but not by much. You find yourself inside your tour bus. And it is a massive tour bus with all the modern amenities, one befitting a racer of your status. You find yourself seated comfortably on a soft white leather couch. Your pit crew celebrate all around you, showering you with praises. Phil, and this time I'm going to describe Phil. Phil's kind of a short, somewhat portly African-American man. You guys have been friends for a while. He's probably the person who manages your pit crew. He helps you with your repairs and your augmentations on your vehicles. And you guys have been friends for a while. You met through the NASCAR circuit. He noticed your skill, and he has absolute respect for you. And he also, besides being your pit crew manager, he also is the one who acquires many of the let's say accommodations that whatever you might want. And so he approaches you with he's still dressed in his blue pit crew outfit, but it's clear that the way he's moving, he and everyone else in your pit crew has at this point enjoyed quite a bit of alcohol. Still, despite the inebriation, he manages to carry a silver plate, and he lowers that silver plate to you. On it, there are 3 lines of white powder, and you know exactly what this is, and a $100 bill curled up into a straw. What do you do? You think it comes in, baby?
Well, that's a good Jesus bitch.
Okay, so that is going to set the tone for your tour bus drive heading back home. On your way back to your hometown, you guys stop at a strip club. One thing about Atlanta is that there, at least in this version of Atlanta, which is perhaps more similar to 90s Atlanta, but there are strip clubs everywhere. The rest of your night is a haze of ecstasy and revelry. It goes by in a blur, and somehow, some kind of way, through the drug-induced stupor, you find yourself waking up next morning in your hometown of Milan. Okay, so your morning begins with a hero's welcome. You're greeted after you finish doing whatever you need to do in your home. You have a large ranch estate. It is probably the biggest house in your small rural Georgia community. After you leave your home, you're greeted by the townsfolk, and you are pulled into a parade in your honor. You find yourself riding slowly atop a red Corvette in your racing jumpsuit with 2 gorgeous local hometown girls in your arm. The clean, fresh Georgia air blows against your face as you sit in the back seat of a convertible like your JFK returned from the grave. The band that precedes your vehicle plays a jovial Southern country tune. And it would complete with all the American pomp and circumstance of the stereotypical hometown hero. The nameless women at your side are gorgeous. You've known them both in the biblical sense. And they show no hint of jealousy as they hold and caress you without a care of who might see. The town is gathered on each side of the procession, clawing and climbing over one another just to get a look at the hometown hero. You can see it in the eyes of every man and woman and child there. They worship you as they always have. Since a young age, you've had a preternatural skill at driving, and it's perhaps the most notable skill in town. As you look around your small North Georgia community, you remember growing up here. Ever since your father put you on the dirt tracks and the local speedways, you've had a way with cars, as he would coax out of them what they shouldn't have been capable of. Frankly, you've put this town on the map as a national NASCAR superstar. You've revolutionized the sport and made the prototype class racing popular. Motor vehicle corporations have flocked to build new vehicles that only you could handle, but instead you stick with your hometown pit crew. You stick with the vehicle that you've built with your own hands, and you are the poster boy for the new Southern boy. So the parade retinue leads you to the local and most prolific bar in town. One of the blondes you can cavort with on the back of the Cadillac slide down into the back seat, pulling you down with them. They both begin to make out with you, passing a pink pill from their mouth to yours. What do?
Well, I mean, there's only one thing left to do. I take that out, tongue scoop, kissing the girls, playing around. And before I do this, they pull me down. I say,
I can't hear you.
I say, folks, I got some important business to attend to. I'm going down to Georgia. And I slide down with them.
All right. So as you take the hitherto unknown pill into your mouth, you are immediately hit with an incredible sense of elation. Every touch and caress against you feels magnified by 200%. Let's see, by the time you come up for air in the backseat of the Cadillac, you've arrived at the Rawway Tavern, and this is a local bar in town. The small establishment is perhaps too small for your newfound fame, but it is the hometown bar, and within it is filled with memories. You walk in with the two women in your arms, and you're greeted with a warm amber light, and the smell of smoke, wood, and alcohol fills your nostrils. The chatter quiet down just as soon as you step in, and attention suddenly focuses on you. So you're standing within the Rawway Tavern, which is the local hometown tavern. It's a small place, and it's filled, seemingly in anticipation for this. They knew that this was a place that your parade would stop at, and your celebration would continue. And so you're inside this bar. Everyone's looking at you. What do you do?
Woohoo, boy! We're going to have a good old goddamn time tonight. Praise Jesus.
and Jesus teachingly has blessed you.
Grabbing women, kissing them, hugging kids. I don't give a damn. I'm celebratory and in a good mood. And I say, screw France, screw France. Start getting the chant.
And so the chant continues, screw France, screw France. And it continues for a while until the bartender steps up on a stool and disrupts the chant, pointing you out to the crowd. He is a short, portly Caucasian man with greasy-looking hair. You know him as the owner of the bar and the bartender at the establishment. He is a longtime friend who's clearly happy to see you. You know him as Callahan. And so Callahan says, Lukas Archer Nash, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest racer Georgia has ever known, a son of our little town. You pay him your respects, you hear? Come up and get your drink, son. He invites you to the bar to fill your cup with whatever you wish it to be filled with.
Well, I got a big trophy, because that's what the people want to see. And I just start dropping it in there, I'm knocking it back, it's coming down my face, my little scruffy beard going into my mouth, down my shirt, getting on people near me. I don't give a damn, and that's obvious.
All right, so Callahan will embrace you in a close hug, befitting your close, almost familial relationship. He smells like the rest of the bar, drunk, like everyone in the bar soon becomes. Wherever you go in the bar, people crowd themselves to get close to you and speak. Though they never stay for too long, like a flame, everyone wishes to be close enough to get warm, perhaps not too close, as you stand above the common folk, like some sort of titan or king within the small town. Despite the difference, despite the deference that's clearly being shown to you, there's a sense of warmth that you cannot find anywhere else. Any bar in the greater Atlanta metropolitan area would love to have you. Any club would shut down its doors just to get you inside, even if they were full. But this is the place that you feel most at home. It is the bar that you, as a child, would struggle or would sneak into, even underage, just to get in. But now it seems like you own the place. You know almost everyone at the bar. You've hung out with them, went to school with them. And yet now everyone gazes at you in your direction, all the attention seemingly focused on you. But out from this crowd, you notice someone that you haven't seen before. You see a alluring young woman. And so, Kala, can you introduce your character?
I don't know who Kala is. Oh, that is me. I went by my last name. Kayla.
Yeah.
Kayla. Okay. Well, she looks like she's not from this time period at all. She looks like she literally came off the set of some 80s hair band, music video. I mean, really big hair. She's got like the really neon pink lipstick, the makeup that's just very much 80s. She's got a Billy Idol t-shirt, which is ripped in several areas. The 80s jeans that looks like it's been stonewashed and probably still from the 80s. She's also not American. So she just looks like very out of place and walking around all of these very Southern people trying to just have that fake smile of, oh, we're all here to have fun. Such dignified people. Perhaps a lot of alcohol.
And with so much alcohol, no one seems to notice you beyond the surface of your character's looks. People seem to readily accept you regardless of your seemingly out-of-place clothing. No one seems to question it, which is odd, but perhaps it is either your looks or something else, something more mysterious that keeps you fitting in despite the fact that you stand out. But Lukas sees the fact that you stand out, and you are you contrast hard against the world around him, and that focuses, Lukas, your eye towards her to the point where even if there is something else distracting you, you cannot ignore her. What do you do?
Hell, boy, what you think I do? I was towards her in a beeline, chest puffed out, total peacocking, sort of swaying from side to side, slightly drunk, smelling like a brewery, the front of my clothes very wet with alcohol that is still settling into the places. Holding my winning trophy that still has, I don't know, probably a quarter full. Just water over to you. Well, God damn, who are you, little foxy thing?
Kayla, actually. Nice to meet you.
I just look at you. Well, are you from New York or something?
No, I've been there. It's quite nice.
Right. Well, that's all right. Look, I ain't gonna hold it against you today. We celebrate even if you is a Yankee. Why don't you, hey, get some music on?
So Callahan, he turns some music on. He puts your favorite track on. What is Lucas's favorite track?
We gotta. I'm sure it's gonna be something.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Get her, baby, if you will. I'll grab your hand and pull you to the center of the place and start attempting to force you to dance.
I'm gonna check my character sheet to see if I can actually do that. The answer is no. So it's gonna be, Uh, interesting.
I guess it's under athletics.
It could be under a performance too, actually, I guess, right?
Maybe.
Well, if it's under athletics, I can do it.
Well, I start dancing with you. Come on, little fella, show me what kind of moves you got, and shake that money maker for me. What guy? I'm the champion.
All 80s moves.
Right, so you guys become the focus of the gathering as people seem to back up and make a little circle, all eyes focused on you
Oh,
as you guys get down. I don't know if Lucas knows his 80s moves very well, but you
I don't
guys
know
seem like
that
something
man.
right out of
I dance like a man should. Like he's got some red on his neck.
And so
Dude, booty.
it these two different forms of dancing manage to make something that is wholly unique, and so everyone is seemingly drawn into the jubilation that you both produce together as you dance, and so eventually the entire bar has fallen into group dance and group mania, and so that goes on for a while until someone approaches from outside of the crowd surrounding you both. You both recognize him. He first approaches Kayla. Let me do a screen share. Lucas, you know him very well. He is your best friend, Blake. You grew up with this guy, and perhaps it is you and him who've shared the tremendous popularity between these towns. You two both are the sons of Milan, Georgia, and where you were known for your ability on the racetrack. He was known for his ability on the high school football team. You've always been close, yet there's always been somewhat of a rift between you. He seems very private regarding his family, a family who has lived a long time in Milan, Georgia, but no one else really knows much about, save for that they own lots of property in the county. So Blake approaches you, and he first embraces Kayla, as Blake is the means that you've been introduced to this town and introduced to this bar. Hey, Kayla, let me borrow the big guy for a minute. He says to you before he turns to Lucas. Hey man, what's up, man?
I didn't know this was
Congratulations!
here.
And he fucking gives you a hug.
I
He
put my
daps
arm-
you up.
Good to see you, old boy. Damn, good baby.
Hey,
Had him on the back of the
yeah.
head.
Hey, let me take you back to the back room, man. I wanna pour one out for you, man.
I just start going there
celebrate.
immediately.
So he takes you to a back room, and he grabs a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey, a personal favorite of his, the Black Label, which is the expensive kind that he doesn't share this bottle with anybody else. He sets out two glasses, one for you, one for him, and he pours out a shot of whiskey, and he hands you the glass, and he takes the glass and he toasts it. Man, to your success. You made it to the big time, man. We could have used somebody like you, but I'm just glad to see you eating well, you profiting, you doing your thing. And so he clinks the glasses and he takes a shot down.
I clink it together and I knock it back. Oh, thanks, babe. It's good to see you, Blake, down here celebrating, everybody happy. Oh, that's good.
And I see you got introduced to Kayla. Yeah, she's
that's your girlfriend.
No, man, like she's just been hanging around he's been hanging around the band, the trap house. You know, she's been helping us transport some goods. You know, helping us to make some money. When you look like that, it's pretty easy to get around the cops. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing you know about Blake is that after high school he wasn't able to transfer his skills at football to the big leagues like you were able to transfer your skills at racing to the big leagues. He turned to alternative means of gaining his fortune, and despite the criminal nature of what he does, he's made pretty good for himself. You know, he makes pretty good money, and he's doing pretty well in the town. Though the town doesn't look at him like it now looks at you. They see him as somewhat of an embarrassment, and you as having come into your own, as having achieved your destiny of greatness. But Blake, he doesn't seem to hold that against you, though he's aware. He knows he brings a lot of money to the town, and that no one would disrespect him, at least to his face. And so he, after giving you his own private congratulations, he you guys leave the private room and rejoin the party. And so once you guys jump back into the party, all hell breaks loose. You guys, like you said, get toe up from the flow up, and so you guys begin what becomes days of partying filled with drugs, sex, and alcohol. And so just imagine there's a montage of every scene of debauchery, like something out of the rituals of Bacchus himself. Does not compare to the partying in excess that you guys engage in from weeks on from this moment. You guys, both you, Blake, and you, Lukas, are men of money and men of means, and nothing is beyond your reach. And so when you combine this with a desire to party and have as much fun as you can, it is just you guys blow money fast, like just throwing money around and just spending it because you guys got it like that. So describe to me some of the things that you guys get up to in the next few weeks now that you have all this money and all this fame and all this glory all rushing through your veins.
And just a blur montage goes by in fashion of fast drag racing right out of the main thoroughfare, or the strip, if you will, you understand, of girls, and it just changed, just like almost like a Michael Jackson video. One face morphs into another as the sexual carnage and bliss unfolds, one man to another, you understand, and the women just float and fly by, and there are many lines of white powder, you understand. Talking about cocaine, baby, right up the nose, one after another. There's a lot of weed smoke, and a lot of partying. There's probably some old boys from out of town that might get their ass whooped at the same time. We're just knock them old boys out. And there'll be many chants of USA, of the South, and of Georgia.
Okay. So, Kala, you're going to be ingratiating yourself to this group of people through the means of partying. Do you engage in the same partying just to get yourself embedded within the group? And how do you manage the severe debauchery that takes place even as you hang around these gentlemen?
I'm gonna do a lot of alcohol, but as far as snorting, that's not gonna happen. I just kind of it's not for me. And if they do try to pressure me, then I'll use mine in order to make it seem like I did, and I'll just blow it so it goes out and not in, and just make it seem like I'm totally.
So Lukas, you noticed something about Kala. You notice that you have you conduct this partying flashes of her engaging in the same alcohol and drug use that you are, and yet she seems to keep her composure better than anyone else in the group. And this is strange to you, but within your haze of drug and alcohol use, you don't have much time to ponder this peculiar circumstance.
I might not, but I will tell you this. I have a pit bull, and his name's Cocaine, and he loves cocaine, and he's there too, baby. He's partying just as hard as everybody else.
That's awesome.
Okay. Cocaine! Come get your Budweiser out of this bowl, boy. I smacked the big dog on his ass.
All right. Unless you do whatever you're doing. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So after a week of partying and celebration. Lukas, you find yourself laying face down in your bed. The covers aren't even on you. This isn't some restful planned sleep. You're just face down, body completely exhausted. Not really sure how you even got into the bed, but you're there. You've been completely drained. Oh, say it again?
I said cocaine curled up around me.
Yeah. I mean, for the moment you're there by yourself. Perhaps there have been individuals who shared that bed with you, but they have left.
Oh man, cocaine.
Oh, there's plenty of that around you. Whole lines half snorted.
My dog.
Your dog is sleeping too. Perhaps you're embracing your dog as you lay there in your bed, and you are finally awakened by a phone call. You hear your phone ring. What do you do? You respond so slowly that eventually it stops ringing for a second. Then it rings again.
That's when I talked for a while. And that's when I hit the button.
You hear the voice of Phil.
Yelling at me, short motherfucker.
And he isn't yelling, but he does seem to have been crying. You hear Phil. He's choked up. Man, hey man, you there, Lukas? And Lukas, are you there?
Oh man, I was asleep.
Man, I gotta talk, man. You
gotta talk right now. It's sleep. Shit, what's wrong with you, son?
It's bad, man. It's about NASCAR, man. Look, I'm so sorry. The health inspector.
What? This is where it starts sobering me up fast. What the fuck you say, man? What the fuck you say, man?
The health inspector, man. They're taking it all away from us, man.
Taking what? What they taking?
They said your drug test came up, man, and it's positive, man. For a lot of stuff, they got us, man. They tested the pit crew. They got them too. They're suspending the whole team. They're revoking our victory, man.
Hell no.
I just had to let you know before the news hits the media, man. I'm so
sorry. Man, fuck, that's some old bullshit, man. Can't we get one of them old Jew lawyers on them?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, man. I'm contacting our lawyer. We're gonna fight this, but man, it's gonna be hard.
Get one of them Feinbergs or Goldblums. That's what we need. We gonna beat this one. You understand? Oh my.
We gonna fight it, man. But they're holding our wings. We're not gonna get paid, man.
We ain't gonna get paid. Who ain't gonna get paid? I gotta get paid. You know how much money I spent in the last I don't know how many days.
We're gonna fight it, man. But you gotta figure something out because they're holding our winnings.
No, fuck that,
man. I gotta pay for my kids' college.
I need to make one of them videos online, man.
We got advertisers pulling out.
Hold on, let me get on my Twitter machine here.
No, man, don't do that. You might make it work.
No, fuck that. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. I'm gonna get on my Twitter machine. Oh man, fuck this bullshit. Man, fuck NASCAR sucking dick.
Okay, so you do have a sudden realization of all the bills that have racked up, not the least not being your mortgage payment, which is coming up soon. And with this news, even as you post on social media, and don't get me wrong, the support.
First thing I'm gonna do, being what I am, I'm gonna go right there and make. I'm gonna turn a stove fire into a blazing inferno on Twitter. I'm just gonna start typing NASCAR sucking dick. I got bills to pay, bitch. Like all caps with like 18 exclamation marks, and just start sending them out. You can't fire me. I'll fire you. I'll fire NASCAR. You sons of bitches. I'm the best there ever was. And I'll start quoting like random Southern rock and country lyrics and songs that I feel are applicable to my situation.
All right, so okay, so yeah, you have support coming in from all around the world, but it doesn't seem to be swaying NASCAR's position, who have made an official media statement regarding you failing a health test and in an investigation having begun upon you and your pit crew, in that your winnings in regards to the previous race are in question. And perhaps the most stinging thing is the comment by Mr. Racer X, aka Tom Elliott. He posts on social media, this is the nothing. This is something to be expected from the barbaric Southerners. He was probably on the influence of drugs during the race, and I'm sure, perhaps with great luck, that the drugs prepared him to excel in the race. He could not beat me in a sober state of mind. He is a fool and a barbarian, and his like should not be allowed in NASCAR racing, which is a sport of gentlemen. He says over social media, dragging your name through the mud.
Oh, definitely return. NASCAR ain't no sport of gentlemen. You dirty son of a whore. Your mom is a sport for gentlemen.
Sorry.
Hashtag fuck France.
Wow. Okay. And so, despite your indignation, you do know you are remembering that you have all these bills coming, and the apprehension and anxiety begins to weigh down upon your spirit. But in that state, you do remember something that was said within the haze of debauchery and partying by your friend Blake. You remember him saying something about needing a good driver, and you remember how well Blake gets paid. You remember during the haze of partying the kind of money that he was throwing around, perhaps equivalent to your own money that you've acquired in the professional sport of NASCAR. He's managed to do the same in the underworld, and you remember that, and perhaps you might think of giving him a call.
Well, fuck that. I'm going to text the man because why are we going to do anything sensible? I am clearly going to be in a constant state of drunkenness and between being drunk and hitting many uppers to bring me back. I'm talking about cocaine. I'm talking about speed. I don't give a damn. So I text him, yo, Blake, I need to talk to you. Money.
And then so you just come over. Okay, and so we're gonna change scenes. Kayla, you have been hanging around Blake mostly, who you've been doing some work for. And patience does not come easy to the bold, because it is a testament to your will that you've been able to hide among the filth that is the backwater home of the Rozovsky clan. And you both will know that this is the name of the family that Blake Russo belongs to. It's been decades since this tribe settled in the North Georgia mountain area. They were driven out by their Russian homeland for their excess. Right now, Kayla, you are located in his home, and the music that pumps through the rickety longhouse, leaving the air dark and disorienting. To most, it would seem to be a common party scene. For Blake Russo and his family, the party has continued even after Lukas has found himself crashing in his home. Even though it seems to be a normal party scene, Kayla, you can feel the filth within the resonance. It's a resonance of entropy that you feel in the air that seems stale and dank, as if it was the air of a grave or a coffin. Even as you shoot up and pop whatever drug that was passed to you to fit in, you don't risk intoxication. leaving you lucid even as you feign an opiate stupor to remain unnoticed. Your skills of the life arts allow you to keep your mind and your wits about you, even as you use the drugs that allow you to fit in within the Rozovsky clan. You are free, therefore, to watch, eyes piercing the hazy darkness, to see Blake's family. You see as they walk around in their denim jackets and patched up camo pants. You see the boils and the polyps and the growths evident on their bodies. Even in their Hamid form, you can see the metis taint in the inbreeding that has grown common among this clan. There's something wrong here. You have the opportunity to explore. So what do? You're in their house. You're in this clan house. You're sitting around. You're one of the hang-arounds. Often you are approached by other male members of the clan, but with your abilities in the mind arts, you're able to rebuff their advances rather easily and keep yourself safe, even as you hang around them.
I'm just going to continue to investigate and see if any of this stuff is tainted in some way, because even drugs, they don't do this to people, not to this with the polyps and everything. I'm going to do what I can, get samples of it, maybe stow it away, say, hey, I'm just going to take this for later.
You see a member of the clan. He's a large, older Caucasian gentleman. He isn't wearing a shirt, but he's wearing camo pants and combat boots. He's holding. He is armed. You see a revolver in a holster at his hips. But right now he is on his back, laying asleep. He has a growth growing on his left pectoral, a large, throbbing pustule that seems filled with pus. And you see him laying there. He's laying on against a couch. He's not even on the couch. He's kind of like slumped up against it. You see track marks across his arm, and you get a sense of what has sent him into his deep sleep.
Okay, I can find a syringe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, there's a syringe right next to his hand. You could probably take it without being seen.
Okay. Is it filled with anything?
There's a little bit of stuff left in it.
A little bit of stuff in it? Okay.
Yeah, if you if you give it I don't know. I don't think life or mind would allow you to see. I think you have to have the first. Do you have Prime 1?
No, I'm not Prime. I'm life and mind. Okay. So that's not something I would...
Well, you do see a syringe with a little bit of stuff left in it.
Okay. I'll take that to be studied later. I kind of want a sample of that polyp, so I'm trying to find.
You'd have to risk touching him. So.
Yeah, I can just use mine to send him into a further sleep. He's already there. Okay. Just touch his head.
Roll me your arete. It's going to be coincidental with no witnesses.
Yeah.
So I think it's difficulty, so you have 3 in mind, so it'd be you're probably only using 2, so it'd be 5. So he gets 3 successes, so you do it without risking paradox at all, and you manage to put him into a deeper sleep, and so you're free to touch him. You look around one last time, you don't see anyone, at least anyone who's lucid enough to notice what you're doing.
Right.
At you.
Alright, I'm going to need to find a clean one of some kind, or at least something I can actually, like a small container to basically just let the pus come out into the container and then seal it. So I need to find something where I can do that. I don't know.
Maybe you find there's probably not a whole lot of clean needles there, but
that's what I'm thinking, is that I'd have to either have brought something in because I had planned to do this prior, or
I think it's reasonable to say you have a clean needle. I think that's a reasonable thing that you'd probably have, knowing what you're trying to infiltrate. You'd probably have a clean needle or 2.
I'll definitely take a sample of it. Does it do anything when I poke it? Does it move?
It does squirt out a bit, but none of it gets in your face.
Good.
really gross. The smell that hits your nostrils when you poke it is rancid. It smells like eggs that have gone bad long
Oh,
ago.
God, you bloody. Mm.
And so you feel, and it is the smell of corruption. Perhaps you don't have entropy enough to sense it in a magical degree, but everything about this seems wrong, and it
Just screaming
seems
of the worm.
like the
Screaming
essence
the worm.
of corruption.
Yep, this is definitely worm taint. And just taking samples of all of it.
Okay, so you do that. All right, so you have those samples, and now what do? The focus of the resonance that you feel is repelling, but that sense that you're getting is resonating from the back of the home. So you do feel that.
All right, I'm gonna go check that out, and I'll go to the back of the home after I've got my samples stowed away.
All right, so as you get to the back of the house, you go through the kitchen. Now you see the double doors towards the back porch, and the blinds are down and you can't see through them, but you do see a green light behind those doors. So what do you do when you see that green light behind the blinds of the back porch doors?
Just kind of open the blinds slightly.
So as you reach out to look through those blinds, a hand, someone comes from your left flank, and a hand reaches out to stop you. The individual who steps in front of you is tall with a shaggy beard, and he appears to be another white male in his 40s. He wears denim jeans and jacket over a torn black shirt. His cold blue eyes radiate with the look of a predator looking down upon you. He appears to be one of the elders of the clan, but without prime or spirit, you can't know much more than that. But you do, if you look into his eyes, you do feel the sense that you are being preyed upon. And you do get, and if you had to guess of what this is, you'd probably come to the correct conclusion. A sense of terror will fill you, even your awakened soul, and your avatar will call out to you to diffuse the confrontation and get away. Run, your avatar whispers in your mind. He says nothing. He just looks at you. You can't tell if he's grinning or scowling beyond the scraggly, messy beard that covers his face. He attempts to caress his large paw-like hand across your neck and up to your face. He doesn't get the sense that you're trying to snoop, but it is his want to keep you from seeing things that you should not see, and perhaps as a male, take his right of the hang-arounds who are lurking in this house. So what do you do?
I'm going to attempt to back away slowly without showing as much fear as I possibly can. Maybe that's a willpower roll, because the second they smell it, I'm in trouble.
As you step away from him, he does step in to follow you. Come on, girl, what you doing? There ain't nothing back there for you to see. Why don't you come up here with Uncle Chevy, and we can have a good old time?
Thank you, but I was simply looking for the door. I was going to go get some breakfast. Are you hungry? Perhaps I could get you an egg McMuffin.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Yeah, I'll
Oh,
get
God.
a bite in. He steps closer to you.
Keep backing out.
Eventually go back into the kitchen, and you'll eventually go back into the area that you were in. You start to get towards the front of the house, because it's a long ways, kind of a rectangular shaped house. There isn't a whole lot of space between the back and the front, and so as you get to the front of the house, you'll hear a car park outside. And Lukas, you there? Lukas.
Yeah.
Andrew, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So At this point, you're gonna walk into the house as you find your way to Blake's place. Um, okay, so one thing as you drive to Blake's place, even in the Milan, Georgia, you're gonna go slightly towards the edge of the town, into the North Georgia mountains area. As you drive to his place, you're gonna drive through dense forestry. Atlanta is very often thought of as uh, the the most modern city in the South, but surrounding Atlanta is wilderness that is dense and alive. And so as you enter these back roads, you're going to see large trees, very high hills, and sloping valleys, all rife with life and game and trees. And as you park in the front of Blake's house, it's what could only be described as a trap house. It's almost a rundown shack-like place. The paint's chipping off. It's white with a wooden porch out in front of it. Definitely the type of home that you would see in the South. And this is the home of the Rozovsky clan, Clan Russo, the mysterious family that you, even as Blake's best friend, never really got to know all that well. But you've seen this place before. You've seen this house. And so as you walk in, you're going to see Kayla and a large bearded man approaching him. So what do you do? And Kayla, you're going to see Lukas walk into the home behind you.
Great! A male. Terrific. I know how this works.
Yeah.
Just get behind the other male.
Okay, so you see Kayla kind of approach you, Lukas, and this guy look kind of like looking to see like what the relationship between you two is to make his decision if he's gonna what he's gonna do. He knows you. You haven't seen this guy before, Lukas, but he does apparently know who you are. Everyone in Milan, Georgia, knows who you are.
Nice.
And there's a certain amount of respect that comes with that.
So I'll walk over to him. Pops, Blake's around, yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll go grab him, he says, looking somewhat disappointed, and he walks off to go
I
grab
smile,
him.
then I'll flash a quick look at the lady here. Kind of like cocking my eyebrow, like, ooh, something bad about to happen, like just from seeing her body language.
Just gonna mouth thank you and start heading for the door.
All right, so Blake walks into the room, and he will approach you, Lukas. Hey, man, let's go talk in my room. And so he takes you. All right, Caleb, you said you left.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is now the time.
Yeah,
Not want to get
probably.
left
Yeah,
alone. I do not.
Yes, good on you. Yeah. So all right. So Blake takes Lukas to his bedroom, and he grabs before he starts talking, he grabs a rubber tube and wraps it around his arm, and he grabs a spoon and this kind of a yellow like thing that looks kind of like butter. He puts it on the spoon and he begins to light it. And he melts it down, and he takes a syringe, and he pulls it into the syringe. And so he sits down, and he starts to inject this substance to himself. And as he says, man, so here's the deal. So I saw what happened on Twitter. And first of all, fuck that Frenchie. He can eat a dick. Like, that's
Yeah, he eat a basket of dicks.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that guy's gonna get his. You know, he ever comes around these parts talking all that trash, we'll handle him. But in the meantime, man, it's a real jack what NASCAR is doing. They don't appreciate a good Southern boy, and then he finally injects it into himself, and he pauses for a moment, he closes his eyes, and he inhales deeply, and he exhales, seemingly to relax, and he says, "Yeah, man, it's and you can tell his tone has changed at this point. It's a real shame what they done to you. I mean, you how much money you brought them? hey man, you want any of this? And he hands you the spoon, and he unwraps the rubber tube around his arm. He hands
No,
it to
no, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know, just trying to
you. All right, man.
figure
Yeah,
out what am I meant to do. I got all
yeah,
these
man.
bills,
They make.
and NASCAR done stole all that money from me, hit me with the fines, trying to hold up my purse. Man, them dirty sons of bitches.
Y'all got one of them lawyers on that, right? They can't do that to you. That's
Yeah,
criminal.
yeah. We got Weiss
And
and Silverberg. There's some good lawyers right
oh
there.
yeah, you know them the best lawyers in the world, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they can. That's one thing they're good for. And he snorts, and then he But look here, man. In the meantime, I know you need a little Stratford cash, right? But you know I got you, right? You know I got something down there for you. With your driving skills, man, it's easy money around here. We can we can help you out. We can. I got something for you. Nobody can drive like you, man.
Ain't
Like so
nobody,
so I got.
ain't nobody can drive like me. Ain't nobody got that red name moonshine like me.
And ain't nobody, but we can't have you driving that. But I got something. I just need you to drive this shipment down to Savannah. It's easy money. We got a caddy for you. We got new plates and everything, so you shouldn't expect to get pulled over by 12. And you know what 12 means. 12 is a euphemism for cops.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be pulled over by 12 as long as you don't drive like a madman. We'll give you a new haircut or wig or something so you ain't recognizable. And you shouldn't have no trouble. It's easy drive. We just need you to take this shipment, down to Savannah. I got some boys who you can hook up with and hand it off, and then they'll pay you what you owe, and there you go. But on the off chance, just in case, if you do get pulled over, just on some BS, you got the skills to get away from the 12 if you need to. So it's easy money for you, man. It's 100,000 with your name on it if you do this job for us. You dig?
That money get me through for a couple months. Yeah. That's gonna help you. The bill collectors away, help pay my legal bills. So yeah, all right, whatever you need, man.
All
No
right.
problem.
All right, yeah, man. So, all right, what we're gonna do is just chill out here for about 2 days. I'll go hang back at your crib, do what you need to do, and I'll meet you on Thursday. And I'll have the car ready for you. I'll have we got you one of them fancy GPSs, get you down there, and you ain't gonna get lost. But I mean, it's just a straight shot now, 75, 85.
Shit, I ain't never been lost a day in my life.
And man, this is some BS. They shouldn't shoot you like this. All, and it's a conspiracy, man. It's like the government and the media. They all trying to bring the white man down. You know how it is.
Yeah, man. They can't stand a southern man to try to survive. They try to take food off my table. They try to, man, try to make it so cocaine can't even have a good meal. They're trying to make it so that my sister, that I can't make sure she take care of proper.
Yeah, man. They don't care about us around here. If you ain't down there in one of them big fancy buildings, they don't care. We gotta do what we need to do to survive, man. That's the world we in.
Yeah.
And all right, so after
That,
you have 2 to 3, you have like 3 days of downtime before you've been told to meet at Blake's place to get the caddy that you're gonna be driving down to Savannah, and you're gonna do anything in that time?
I mean, I'm going to do a lot of cocaine. I'm going to
Okay.
be working off my
Well,
ass. I'm going to be fucking. Yeah, I'm going to do some stuff. Hell, you think I'm just going to stand there and look at the wall? Hell no.
All right. Well, after 2 or 3 days of cocaine,
Of course, we know we're going to be getting on our lawyers.
yeah, you probably do that, get all that settled. Okay, so all right, you're standing out. You pull up in front of Blake's place, and you see a white caddy, it has its kind of like a van rear that's closed, and you see Blake leaning on the vehicle with the keys in his hands, and as you approach, he says, "So the GPS is set to the location in Savannah, and just follow where it tells you to go."
First, I
And
got a pair of nut-hugging jeans and tight with my belt with a big old belt buckle, Confederate flag on it. I got this shirt that's well too tight on me, cut off. I got my hair nice and cut up, shaved down, with some blonde streaks put in there. Pair of big like bomber type glasses, so I'm less recognizable. John Deere hat on.
all right, Kayla, did you ever come back to Blake's place or at all?
To maybe with LB.
Okay.
I
All
would
right, so
probably
if you
bring my
did,
familiar.
if you ever saw that white caddy, you're gonna get a tremendous resonance from it of entropy. So you see something off. You feel something off about that caddy. All
Yeah.
right. So
I would probably keep eyes on it, see where they're going to be ending up taking that caddy. So I may tail it in
okay.
my vehicle.
All right. All right. So Lucas, Blake hands the keys to you and opens the door for you to get in. Yeah. So
I should most certainly will.
all right. So once you pull off, then you're gonna start. You're gonna leave Milan, Georgia, leave the county, and you're gonna get on I-75. All right. So when you start driving, I mean the day is it is an overcast sky. It seems on the verge of rain, even in the morning. The first major thing you come across as you drive is the tremendous, what they call in Georgia, the spaghetti junction. And so what this is it is a layer of multiple concrete roads that are to shoot into the sky and crisscross in between each other to send to allow traffic to divert to the many different roads, but you shoot right through Spaghetti Junction, even as the massive concrete roads cast their shadow down upon you, and you shoot through Spaghetti Junction, heading down into Atlanta, and you see. Before you even get into downtown, you can see the massive skyscrapers piercing out of the metropolitan area into the sky. And they seem like massive edifices and obelisk of industry peering down upon you in a way that's unfamiliar, as you don't spend a whole lot of time downtown. You are not a city boy, but in the middle of the heart of the South, it is one of the biggest cities you have ever seen, rivaling that of New York. It is the New York of the South, if you will. As you enter downtown through I-75, on one side, you see these massive buildings. On the other side, you see smoke and soot and dust wavering out from the collapsed Atlantic Station. You've probably seen Atlantic Station once or twice. It was a massive shopping center and living area of expensive housing and the most expensive shops, the biggest movie theater in the city, and it was a place that people frequented often, built upon the grave of the old Atlanta steel mill. As hard work is given to commercialism, now it has all come crashing down. You pass and you can feel the sense of chaos and death as the ambulances and police cars still, even weeks after the collapse has happened, are still there digging through the collapsed structure and in the heap of concrete and steel to find the bodies that are still trapped in the broken structure. You continue to travel down I-75 and you see the Turner building. You see one of the massive media companies that has helped to spread your fame, even as they you look upon them with derision because you know that these are the people who are part and parcel to the degradation of your fame, who spread the news of your failed drug test on a 24-hour news circuit. You see perhaps the center of that 24-hour news circuit that has spread your degradation in the form of the massive CNN building just as you turn the bend to leave towards the edges of the metropolitan area. On your right, as you continue to drive down the road, you see Grady Hospital. It's a massive hospital, one of the biggest in the South. It takes up perhaps an entire area of the city on its own. It is a hospital that you have been in a few times after a few failed, after a few crashes, in ones that has saved your life perhaps a couple of times. And then the last thing that you see before you leave the metropolitan area is the Georgia Capitol. It's a massive Baroque-style building with its centered upon a dome Colosseum-like building, and this is where all the laws of Georgia are made. The laws that continue to harry you and to have made your drug use and the way that you choose to enjoy yourself made those all crimes, and perhaps you look upon that with derision as well. So any thoughts as you leave the metropolitan area?
My mind is spinning anger surging through me with a slight tinge that's pulled in as, I know I'm doing something that could be a problem, and I see that bill and the laws and how fucked up their laws are, and I think back to the glory of the Confederacy and how weak, pathetic, and corrupted and Yankee-ized they've become, and of NASCAR, and how they need to be making some laws to protect me from having my money stolen. But that's okay. But they're going to try to prohibit against a good man trying to get a good bit of work in. But no, it's fine if I get jacked. So I look upon them. A little bit chaw gets spit out the window in that direction to express my disdain for laws and for authority.
All right. So you leave the metropolitan area, and then you start to enter Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Has your character ever left Georgia or the United States?
Oh, no, I've never been out of the United States, but I've been through probably a good number of different states down here. I'm going to say I've been to South Carolina. I'm going to say Florida. I'm going to say Alabama. I'm going to say Mississippi. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm gonna put it with those states. Probably not very well traveled, but yeah, he's been around a little bit. A young man, you understand?
Okay. So the places you've gone are places that you could have reached with your tour bus. So you're probably unfamiliar with the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. This is the biggest airport in the United States. It is a county on its own. It is a city on its own. The airport is incredibly massive, and as you drive down the road, you hear the massive roar of an airplane engine as it descends all too close down to the road before it lands in the nearby runway. And you hear the scream of that jet engine, and you think of perhaps getting away from the South that is quickly proving to bring you down. Perhaps they don't appreciate you as much as you would be appreciated maybe in California. Maybe they would respect your skills and leave you to enjoy yourself as you see fit. And so after you pass the airport, you gradually notice that trucks and traffic begin to fade away until you are on the lonely streets with just you and your drug-packed caddy and the endless forest of green on either side of the now narrow highway. As you drive, it continues to become more and more quiet. Nighttime descends. Your eyes are drawn to billboards, and after perhaps about 4 hours of driving, you get around to an area where there are billboards that say Sons and Daughters of the Confederacy, Chapter 28. and you know just from that what part of Georgia you are in. You are far from the city now, and now you're perhaps in a place where you feel more comfortable. In the wilderness, is green extends out seemingly into infinity. If you go on, if you point, you notice that eventually it fuzzes out. Apparently, you are going into somewhat of a dead zone. Uh, in this quiet, the cool air perhaps starts to make you drowsy as you continue on into this long drive, perhaps now halfway towards Savannah, Georgia, which is on the southernmost part of Georgia. Before you get too sleepy, though, you're going to see blaring lights of red and blue in your rear view mirror. You know exactly what this is. You continue driving. Perhaps they aren't looking for you. Perhaps it's a car, maybe in front of you in the distance that they're trying to hail. But then your heart will drop as you hear the sound of a man's voice, a thick Southern accent over a loudspeaker. Pull over! What do you do?
Not that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slowly getting over and allowing him to get to like where he stopped.
All right.
And then I'm going to wait very carefully as see if he gets out and starts coming towards me.
Yeah, he's gonna eventually get out and start walking towards your vehicle.
That's when I slam my foot and I'm off, and I'm gonna hit a hard Yui and just like do some stunt driving on his ass and just try to zip away from him in a way he would never have suspected. You understand?
So
while he's walking up to my car.
What in tarnations? He's like shouting. He runs back to his vehicle and he gets on his radio and he calls for backup. We got a 10-4 in progress. His license plate he tells your license plate to the other people on the radio, and then he begins to give chase, and having tremendous difficulty following your incredible stunt driving, even as you aren't in your traditional moonshine wagon. You can bring out the best even in this crappy white caddy.
That's right.
And you just begin to drive, and the police struggle to follow you, though.
I'm going to try to find any place where I can lose them, you understand? I got to boss hog that ass.
The roads are the roads at this point are relatively straight. There is a northbound and a southbound, and so whichever way you decide to go, like there aren't really a whole lot of you can't there isn't really anywhere to get off from for a long time. And you could drive into the woods, though I don't recommend it. So yeah, there's only two directions to go.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to try to find anywhere I can get into heavier traffic. I can get into woods. I need to get away from all these police.
Okay. All right. So as you run away, you're going to have more and more police cars joining the chase. And so if you pull into the woods, you're gonna have trees in your way, and for a moment you do lose. You turn off your engine to kill your lights after you pull into the woods after getting.
I'm gonna go as fast as I can, dude. I'm not I'm going pedal down.
Oh, okay. Well, they're gonna follow you into the woods. All right, so
I try to get as far ahead of them as I can.
Okay.
My speed, and then I'm gonna try to hide from them.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So as you pull into the woods and kill your lights to hide, you're gonna see a bunch of police cars speed past you, and then you're gonna let's see what happens after that. So after you pull into the woods and you wait for a second. It seems like perhaps the coast is clear. For the moment, because after you hear the police cars drive past you.
All right, so have I been given any kind of burner phone to be able to call anybody or anything like
You weren't given a burner, but you do have your phone. I don't know if you want to use it, but you're having a hard time getting reception in this area.
that?
The
Okay.
radio isn't working. You don't have any bars on your phone. What kind of phone do you have in game?
I mean, I'm gonna probably have like something very, 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 very like the absolute latest and greatest top of the line.
Okay, well, so
I,
you have an iPhone 5S. You know,
yeah.
it's a nice phone, but the problem with this technology is it doesn't seem all that effective in this rural area. It's you have no bars on your phone. In fact, you seem to be experiencing various glitches on your cell phone as you try to call or use any function on that phone. So, what do? Do you pull out and try to keep going, or do you just stay there for a bit?
Yeah. I mean, once I think all the cops are gone, I'm gonna wait a little while, and then I'm gonna try to, you know, go the other way.
All right. You do that way is opposite of the direction you're trying to go. But if you do go that way,
I
uh,
mean, I can't just get right behind the cops. I mean that.
yeah, definitely. Okay,
I
so
mean, there's
you
always
go out.
another way to get to where I wanted to go. If it needs to take a little more time, that's
Mhm.
too bad. I'm not gonna get time.
Okay, so all right, you have you drive out and you start going in the opposite direction, looking for a detour, and eventually, as you drive in the opposite direction,
I'm basically trying to
you
find another road that can get me back going the other way.
okay. Before you hit another road, though, you're going to find a group of. You're going to see it in the distance, so you're going to have a chance to avoid it. But you're going to see a group of police cars, all set to form a. It's called a roadblock. You're going to see, yeah, they're going to be positioned to form a roadblock. So what do you do?
They formed a roadblock in the opposite direction from which I was coming.
Yeah.
Uh, by the time I see them, like they're seeing me too, though. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, they like you're gonna like you
I
could
mean,
have a chance to turn around,
I would guess there's a
but
lot of cars between me and
hmm
them at this point. Is that
no, I
right?
mean the road's relatively clear. There's not a whole lot of cars on the road except for you and them.
All right. Well, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to definitely make a sharp U and start going the other way.
All right, and so you start going the other way, and eventually, uh, you keep driving, and you hit a point, and then suddenly you see behind you some lights come alight, as if they were hiding as well. Red and blue lights. It's the police car again. You get the sense that they had been waiting for your car to pass, and for them to turn their light. What they did is they were hiding and they turned their lights off. And as soon as they see your car go past, they turn their lights on, and now you have about four cars behind you, trying to speed to get alongside both of you.
Oh hell no! I don't know how fast this car can go, but I'm about to.
All right, so you push that vehicle as hard as you can, and for a long time you stay in front of the police officers. But eventually you start to see steam belch from the hood of your vehicle, signaling that perhaps you pushed the caddy a little too far. And so, as this starts to happen, and as your car begins to fails to maintain that level of acceleration, a police cruiser gets alongside of you and rams your vehicle to the side, trying to cause you to spin out. Give me a
I was trying to avoid that. I also have I have the merit which I hadn't informed you of.
okay.
Ability aptitude driver.
Okay.
No,
All right. So give me
dexterity drive.
a drive plus dexterity.
What is the diff you would normally assign?
what the difficulty? I would normally assign it 7. I think for this I'm going to try 8 to avoid spinning out.
All right, so an 8. Okay, that means my difficulty will be a 6 then.
All right, let's go.
That's what my advantage does. Ooh,
woo! Okay, fuck. Christ.
I got a phenomenal success. That's
okay. So
5 is where they cap stuff out in terms of description. So.
All right, so you have 5 successes, and as your car starts to spin out, you manage to, instead of like trying to fight the spin, you sort of flow into it, and by doing so, you allow your car to take control of that spinning vehicle, and you slide into the opposite direction. You start zooming in the other way.
I try to hurl the top off to prevent, like set his car, with a ducktail.
Oh shit! Okay, so yeah, you managed to get 2 of the police cars to smash into each other with your driving maneuver, and so then you're speeding in the opposite direction again.
Well, I realize they're coming at me, so that's how I do that. And then I turn back around here, and I get in the middle, and I just start driving head first into another police car. I'm gonna play chicken with him. Devil's Dare down the center of the road, you understand?
Alright, so the cop car, he is not as bold as you are, and as you play chicken with him, he's going to stop before you do, and you manage to swerve around him, managing to avoid the cop car again. But as you continue to drive and continue to push his vehicle to its very limits, steam begins to pour from the hood with even more. To an even more prodigious degree, and so you start to hear. You get the sense that you're hearing something in the whisper as a steam escapes the cop car. Yeah, drive. You never heard a car make a sound like that before, but you don't have time to worry about that right now, because even though you've managed to put 2 vehicles out of business and managed to get around other cop cars, they're still following you. Okay, so you continue to drive.
I drive.
And before. Yeah, and so eventually, the engine you start to see your accelerator.
Just a little bit longer, engine. Just a little bit longer. We're gonna do this.
It starts to. You keep pushing it, and it starts to fade.
Baby Jesus, I'd like to take this moment to offer my sacred prayers unto you. I would like for you to help me to defeat my enemies, the police. But fuck the police, Jesus. I know even in the Bible, you was like, fuck the police. These stitch-ass motherfuckers. I remember that.
That's the police out. And so perhaps something heard your prayers as you speed towards.
What? You fucking blasphemer!
you speed towards the barricade that the police have made before, and perhaps you realize that the only way you're going to get through it is by going through it. So you slam on the accelerator again. Do you want to try to ram through the police barricade, or do you want to try to turn around again?
Something even more awesome. I am going to try to go up and over the police barricade.
How are you going to do that?
I'm going to imbibe and channel. I'm going to imbibe more cocaine and channel the spirit of Mo Duke. Straight up and over, right onto the hoods. I'm going to try to find anything around that can give me some extra leverage towards getting just up and over, just crushing their car beneath me, like who was at the truck pull. And that's what I want to do.
Okay, here's what I think could happen. All right, so let's say you another car from that barricade tries to turn, seeing what you might be trying to attempt, and either go through or over them. One car turns and begins zooming towards you. All right, so you hit the car. You playing chicken again, but this guy, whoever's in this cop car, perhaps is a little bit more bold than the other guy was. So you hit the cop car. And because of the shape of the police cruiser, the caddy goes. It hits the hood of the car, and it goes up against the windshield and launches yourself over using one of the cop cars over the police barricade.
Yeah!
You land on the other side, and you continue to drive, thinking that perhaps you've managed to get past this line of 12. But
slam my hands on the wheel. Thank you, baby Jesus, and I just keep down.
Though perhaps the impact of the landing caused more damage than you thought, because now you start to hear the engine puttering in.
Come on, car. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to Jesus. Don't do it to Jesus. Stay with me,
Finally, the caddy gives you all it had left, and eventually your car starts to decelerate, and you hear the howl of the police sirens behind you, and the caddy comes to a stop. And so you hear the cops speeding up towards you. What few they had left, perhaps now they're perhaps even more pissed off because you maybe killed one of their fellow officers in your fantastic stunt to jump over them. And so your car comes to a complete
fucking American cars! So the car's completely stopped. Is that right?
Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
That's not the last thing I have. Open the door. Whoa! My cousin will survive.
The cop cars skid to a stop, and the police leap from their vehicles, and they begin following you in pursuit on foot.
I would like to mention I have Stealth 3 and Survival 3. In the woods I go.
Okay, not all of these cops are in the best shape.
I'm also on cocaine, and that gives me a bonus to speed.
Eventually, one of them pulls their fucking gun, and they're gonna try to shoot you. And you hear a few shots ring out, and you hear things whiz by your head, and then eventually you feel one slam into your thigh, and you come crashing down to the ground after taking a bullet wound to the leg. And so eventually, the cops begin to crowd around you. And
you son of a bitch shot me!
You shouldn't have ran. You shouldn't have ran, boy. As they crowd on top of you. All right, so they begin to pull your hands behind your back. Are you resisting arrest? Clearly bleeding from blood.
I might as well at this point. So I got hit one hit right. I just start kicking. I start throwing wild haymakers at him. I'm on cocaine.
You make an incredible effort. It takes at least 8 cops, all piling on top of you.
Bitches! Why don't you do something about what's actually really going on? About some real goddamn. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. You bitch ass pig motherfuckers! I like this. I wrestle my hand free and start punching one of the fat ones.
Okay.
Right.
So as they eventually get you, before they get you in handcuffs, they hear something from the caddy. Boom, boom, boom. They hear 3 knocks. And they all look towards the caddy, while a few of them remain on top of you to keep you down against the ground. A few go to investigate. And as they press your head up against the road, your ear against the black asphalt of this road that you've traveled so many times, you think you hear something, perhaps in beneath the asphalt. You hear the sound of cars that are not there, many roads in many places. But other than that, you continue to hear the knocks against the back door of the caddy. So, yeah, let me see, where am I? All right, so one of the cops goes to investigate the rear of the white caddy. And with his firearm held at the ready, he reaches out with one arm to open the back door, and so all the other officers are focused on you, keeping you down as you resist and shout. You have cocaine strength at this point. It takes a lot of them just to keep you down. Losing that one officer made it even harder to keep control of you. And so, but they are distracted from you as they hear a loud scream. Ah! They all turn and look as the caddy doors fly open. A long, black, wet-looking tentacle, as thick as a man's forearm, would lurch out from the inside of the cabin of the caddy. It would wrap around the officer's torso, lifting him several feet in the air. You hear the sound of several, at least 7 rounds unloaded into whatever thing is holding him aloft, and yet it is for naught. A second tentacle reaches out, wraps around the officer's neck, and pulls, tearing him apart like wet tissue paper. At this point, all of the officers turn around, and you are no longer their concern. They look in abject horror at the thing that you had apparently been transporting this entire time. It steps out from the back of the caddy. It's about the size of a horse. And it emerges in all of its hellish glory. It's a 4-limbed beast with lean hooved legs, a leathery black skin. Its torso is little more than an oblong, toothy maw amidst a mass of long, writhing tentacles that take the place of what a horse's head would be. These long limbs are coated in red liquid and gore. Its only sound is a shrill keening like that of steel scraping against steel. As it moves and takes its place out from behind the caddy, a tremendous stench of rotting eggs permeates the air. The officers move off to the side of the road, running in stark terror, and the beast, with unnaturally graceful movements, would move in pursuit of them. As you look at this, Lukas, you feel nauseous looking at it. It is something that should not exist. It is something that should not be. You feel yourself getting lightheaded just every time you glance at it, and you you are compelled to look away, even as it gives chase to the officers who are now running and turning only to shoot back at the entity, which it seems to care not for the bullets. It runs them down, and you hear screams out from the darkness of the forest that they run into, and you hear the loud keening sound of the beast. It's like some sort of mad, otherworldly horse neigh. And so you look around still feeling sick just from looking at the unnatural thing. And you hear a voice, not the voice coming from the beast, but something perhaps from within. You hear a low growl, "Drive," and you see both the white caddy that still has smoke coming from it and the open doors of the police cruiser, and you look at them, and you hear that voice coming out from within your mind, a thought that is perhaps not your own, but echoing within your mind all the same. "Drive!" And you hear that voice again. What do you do?
I get in one of the police cruisers immediately, and I take off down the road as fast as possible.
All right. So as your hand touches the key of the ignition, you hear that same voice inside your head. It's as if it's your own thoughts, but it's not something that you were thinking. "Explore the power of the mind." And then as you finally turn that ignition again, you hear that engine come alive, and it's not the normal sound of the engine, but something that is both within and without of your own spirit. You hear the engine go, "Drive," as the engine starts up again, and as your foot touches the gas, the police cruiser would just explode out from its stationary position, gaining more speed and more acceleration than the cruiser is capable of. You can still hear the sound of gunfire and screams echo behind you, even as you gain distance from the horrible situation behind you. Your heart would race both in terror and fascination at the otherworldly experience that you're going through. So you're driving in the police cruiser, and you hear that keening cry of the alien beast behind you. Its cry first sounds far, but then closer, and then too close for comfort. And you look in your rearview mirror, and you see the thing galloping like a mighty steed, fading in out of the nighttime shadows like a nightmare. All right, and once again, the strange beast is all too fast, faster than anything that is galloping ought to be. At times catches up with you and smashes into the frame of your police vehicle, lapping at the metal exterior with its long black tentacles, even as you begin to speed away each time it manages to catch up. The vehicle will continue to accelerate at a phenomenal rate, seemingly coaxed on by your fear as you tightly grip the handles of the police cruiser. Its speed seems to increase as on the empty roads, beyond the limits of what the vehicle should be capable of. The green forest and the stars in the sky above will melt away beneath the onslaught of speed. Your ears would pop in a sonic boom as you explode, and the world around you begins to fall away in its haze of speed. If you look in the mirror again, the beast will no longer be there, and as you look forward into the road, you will notice that neither you nor the road exists anymore. Now you're somewhere else. You're in primal darkness. Behind you, if you look with a body, now that you feel disembodied, if you look behind you, you see a star exploding into millions of distant quasars, and perhaps this is a sight, something primal. It seems familiar, something that you have never seen before, yet seems oddly reminiscent of something like being born, or some sort of cosmic event at the beginning of time that you are now paying witness to. With all of the speed you've experienced before, you've never experienced a sense of movement like this. You feel yourself hurtling, no longer on the road, but now through the darkness of space, moving like a shooting star or a quasar is hurtling towards distant spaces to form new galaxies. You look back again at that glowing ball of warm radiance, and it's unlike a sun, but somehow similar to a sun, not in a cosmic sense, but perhaps in a familial sense. You feel that sense of warmth. It's almost a fatherly warmth, as if this is what you had come from, as if this is your origin point. Then if you look down, no longer flesh or plastic of the vehicle, you see yourself as light and as effervescent waves. Light and effervescent waves that formed a tapestry that shifts against reality. There's no longer a foot upon the gas, but a sense of will, and that will is what carries you forward, even as the real world, fades back in around you. You come to again, and you're still driving on that Georgia road, but now everything seems sharper, everything seems more real, colors seem more vibrant, and it feels like perhaps your entire life you had been asleep, but now you are just waking up. Everything is more saturated. You can smell the Georgia air, and now it's even more piercing and intense. And if you focus your eyes, even as you are moving at a rate of speed that you perhaps never moved before, even on the NASCAR racetracks, as you focus your eyes upon the horizon before you, as you focus, the time seems to dilate, and you become used to the tremendous and almost impossible speeds that you're now moving in. All right, so, and you still look behind you, and you see that black thing galloping around before you, but it's no longer a feeling of intense fear that you feel. Now you feel something else. Now you feel a sense of confidence. And so you take your hand against that wheel again, and you press on that gas. You hear that voice in the back of your mind say, "Drive again." But now, as you press your foot into the gas, you feel your body descending into the machinery, as if the barrier between you and the car, the police cruiser that you're in, has been completely obliterated. You feel your will take hold of the vehicle that you're in, and the vehicle itself begins to morph and shift in response to your desire. The car begins to literally change form as you're driving. So I want you to describe for me what this new car is. It's going to be something otherworldly, something that is a reflection of your soul. as you take your will takes hold of this police cruiser and changes it into your vehicle, something unique to you and unique to your person. The true what did you call it before? You had a name for your vehicle. The morphine cruiser, morphine car, or not morphine, but moonshine buggy or something.
Moonshine, my friend. We're talking.
This is the real moonshine. This is it.
Moonshine Nation.
Moonshine Nation.
So yeah, what I do as I emerge into the car, I think like one of those old '80s cartoons where they had that like kind of froze frame that they use over and over and over again, where they'd show like they'll show like a pan back of the police car, and then it shows a new kind of moving into it, and then the music picks up, and like it's all gloriously redneck triumph, and like the panels of the car like flip over, and behind them is like a more like super powered like from Mask or from Robotech, Transformers, like another one, and then the next one's like it turns over, and like they're like just blazing like neon orange, and this just otherworldly glowing green, and as the cop car fades away, as the hood flips over, as the tail bumper turns back this way, under it are like 8, almost like cannons, just with burning like nitrous flame emitting from them, and they're all chromed out and long with intricate patterns of glorious starred Confederacy on them, and as the flames erupt from the back, you can see the orange itself. It forms almost like a big bird of some mythic yore, of some thunderbird or phoenix or some such mythic alien-like creature, and the orange patterns highlighted again with a glowing green to offset the wings as they kind of come and wrap around, and they have like this feathery detail to them, down to like a beak sort of coming off the very front of the car in a very bright yellow coloration, as the car itself seems to literally fly forth in a burning nitro-fueled flame, and the flame is coming from the top like additional, like, and they come out like real slow, like chrome, like and then it opens up. So even the front of it is some way that it shouldn't make sense, but must ultimately make all the sense that could ever be needed.
Makes all sense to me.
Accelerate and burn from the very front of it, from the sides, and ultimately the car itself becomes riddled with long lines that just roll over the car in flame, and it seems the tires become bright orange and red, as if they themselves are made of flame, as if the car itself does no longer touch the black asphalt, but soars above it, and just streaks come off behind of flame and glory as the car moves forward at unbelievable speeds, just breaking a reality around it as it rushes through, unconcerned with the likes and laws of reality, as it breaks the law, as is my custom.
So as you pull off and you have that huge nitrous kick of flames, the hood tentacle creature behind you that is pursuing you is caught in that massive blast of explosive speed, and you hear its final cry as it's consumed in the emerald flames of your speedy onslaught, and it cries out as its tentacles wave in the air as the fire burns it, dissolving it down into its black, vapory, noxious mist. And now you are speeding off into roads unknown as the creature that was pursuing you is finally destroyed. Okay, so now you're you're just traveling along a road and you feel a sense of intense haze, as far as you not really understanding what has just occurred. And you find yourself traveling along in this mysterious vehicle, which you find responds like no vehicle has ever responded to your controls, seemingly if you will yourself to go faster. Without your foot even pressing the gas, you'll go faster. When you will it to turn on a dime, it will turn, as this thing that you are now riding within is a reflection of what is within. It is your soul, and it has taken form, and you have awakened. All right, so now you're traveling along this road. A lot of the more otherworldly aspects of this vehicle fade as you travel along in silence. You're still confused, lost seemingly on this new road. If you look at your phone, the screen is black as if all the battery has been drained from it, and you have no idea where you are. As you continue to drive, you're gonna hear another vehicle finally pulling up beside you, where otherwise it had been an empty street. Kayla, you find yourself driving on a motorcycle, and you know where you are. You are on the near Umbra. You are on what they call the crossroads of Georgia, which is a near umbral realm, unique to the southern states, found first by the Midnight Rider, and it is now a road that all mages in the southern states know to use. Lukas has found himself lost within, and if it were not for you pulling up beside him right now, perhaps he would remain lost in this umbral realm. But you pull up beside him, and you're on what kind of vehicle are you riding? Motorcycle, car?
I have a car, but I have a motorcycle too, so either one's fine. If it's a car, then it's a Pontiac Trans Am.
Okay.
Um,
So Lucas, you see a Pontiac Trans Am pull up beside you, and if you look to see who's driving it, you see the familiar figure of Kayla, or who you know as Kayla, but perhaps now she can introduce herself, her real self, to you and explain. And perhaps if you have any questions that you surely do, perhaps they can be directed at her. Are you going to stop when you see Kayla pull up beside you
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
very peculiar moment?
I have a clarification question. Like, am I the car, or am I
Sure.
driving the car?
You are technically the car,
Wait,
but you're still inside of the car, but the car is you. It is your avatar. It is the physical manifestation of your avatar.
all right. So eventually, like I slow slightly and then kind of do like this um gimmick where I like screech and I flip around sort of like a figure eight,
Hmm.
getting the tires against the ground, leaving like this. The tire tracks on the ground, but the tire tracks themselves are just full of burning flame. Uh,
That's awesome.
the as I hit like if you go back to like some Robotech action, the car actually like transforms almost like robotic suit of armor on me, and then you see a more to of a humanoid form, and then the armor itself begins to wisp away like misty flame as a few moments pass, and then I'm just simply standing there alone on side of the road, looking around with a dumbfounded look on my cocaine-fueled face.
Okay, baby.
And I look over at you. I guess you like pulls a motorcycle or a car over, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, it's a long story, my friend. You might want to get in the car.
Uh, usually I don't ever let a woman drive me anywhere, but I guess one time. one night I can make an exception, and I'll slowly get in the car, bewildered and dumbfounded and coke-addled.
Coach
One thing you
LB to get in
notice
the
about
back seat.
the world around you, Lucas, is one thing you guys notice is that the sky, it was previously dark, but now the sky seems to be in a perpetual twilight. You don't see a sun. The sky is a tapestry of oranges, blues, and violets, with a starry, seemingly screened over a starry sky. The world around you seems to be coated within an amber hue, though you do seem to still be within that southern wilderness. But yeah, continue.
Well, I mean, I don't really continue it. Like, I'm just looking at her.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to her.
Yeah, I'm coaching my familiar LB, which is this large black timber wolf, to go to the back seat of the car, while he gets into the passenger seat of my vehicle.
I just look at it. I do have survival, so I do know what a wolf looks like. I'm like, you got a wolf in here?
Yes, he's mine. Yes,
You're
a
a
lot
weird
to
chick.
explain. So
I
are
think
you.
we'll try to bite you. I'm not no damn chick.
And just sort of coach the animal to sit and be good mentally, not actually saying anything, just gently touching him from behind just reach behind the car and the car seat and pet him to sit down.
I'll reluctantly get in and look around, and I'm just so full of confusion, burning questions lingering on my flesh, my continence.
At this point, do I see the wound on his leg that he's been shot?
Your wounds are healed up.
Okay.
The wound that was there is no longer there.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to, once he's in the vehicle, instruct him to buckle up. I'm going to try to get us back to out of the Umbra. I know they're calling it something else here.
It is known as the crossroads, you understand, baby.
Well, my upbringing is right, and it's the Umbra, damn it, and so we're gonna get out of it.
Maybe some might call it the living Stardust, if you will.
I know what my family's called it for generations. It's the goddamn Umbra, and we're getting out.
Okay, so
I'm just staring at you with expectation.
You, Detective Chase, you actually know how to get out of the crossroads. The crossroads is a pre-numbral realm, and there are many shallowings within Georgia to escape the crossroads. It's very easy to get into and very easy to leave, but very difficult to know where to leave and where to get out of. But you know the way. So without too much trouble, you are able to find an exit from the crossroads.
Great. So as I'm driving to get out of it, I'm just going to use mind and sort of search his thoughts and see what it is he's seen in order to better explain what's just happened. Because
you have a willpower of I think 7, so I think it's a difficulty 7 to do that. At least if he resists, I don't know. I don't really know how that worked.
I don't know that I would really be resisting anything. Like I'm so blown away and confused and drug addled at the moment. Like this just too much. It's been way too much.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with one success, I'm going to get surface thoughts. I'm going to get like the bare minimum of what's basically happened. Probably not a whole lot with him drugged up. Which I'll sense that he's drugged up.
You'll sense cocaine and how amazing it is. That's what you'll sense.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean cocaine doesn't make you like sloppiness. I was like on heroin. Like if anything,
it's like concentrated caffeine.
Yeah, because everything is probably way more in focus than out of focus. Like all hyper dialed in. Like it might have been the worst drug to possibly have been on at this time.
Okay. I don't exactly know how to prepare you for what's just happened as far as an explanation. But needless to say, you're no longer the man you once were. You've changed. I'm sure you've sensed that. You're, for lack of a better word, able to use magic. And you've done so to enter this place, and I sort of gesture to the skyline and the scenery. And you've done so in order to become one with your vehicle, which was not previously your own. This world exists within our own, and you've gained access to it by awakening an ability within yourself that has always been there, and now it is to the forefront of your mind. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. I am much like yourself, and I can try to help as best I can, but I don't know how much of this is actually going to reach you.
I don't really know what to say. I can tell you this, that the cops shot me right here. Are my pants ripped or no?
Yeah, you still the hole in your pants is still there.
But there's
the wound is gone.
Now, see, there's nothing here. This looks fine. Now, they shot me, and I see the hole, and I'm poking my finger through it. But there ain't no bullet in here. There ain't nothing. Now, I know I was on some drugs, but I seen something open up the back of that trunk. It knocked. It knocked like a man would knock 3 times. I thought maybe I was smuggling some kind of Mexicans or something like that. You know, like a Cuban Mexican or one of the Mexican Puerto Ricans or I don't even know, a guacamolean. I'm not sure, but it was some kind. That's what I thought. 1, 2, 3, the Rapids came on the inside of the trunk of the Cadillac that I was driving. When they opened it up, it was black. It was toothy, and it was like rubber or gasoline, some kind of petrol that had just been dumped over top of something that never should have been made, something that God never could have made.
As he's recalling this in his mind, I want to see if I can tap into it and get a clear picture of it using mind again.
It was something straight from the devil, and I don't know, and I reached out and prayed hard to Jesus, and I know sometimes he comes in mysterious ways, but I can't make no sense of it. I think all the cops were killed.
I got that's technically 2 successes, so I can see this thing.
It was basically a what do you call the worm entities? I forget.
We call it a bane for what he's got.
It was a bane. That's specifically what it was. It was a bane that perhaps grew out from whatever was being transported. You remember seeing the intense resonance of entropy, worm taint, as you would know due to your occult 4 with a focus in Gara. You know that taint to be specifically of the worm, and you pick out what pursued him as a worm taint. Perhaps not one that was intended to be transported, but definitely one that grew out of the materials that the Rusovsky clan was attempting to transport. And you know for a fact that now that this shipment likely will not reach its intended destination, there will be drama and perhaps danger for Blake from his own family. So that's what you can gather from what you've read from his mind.
All right. Well, as I gather that, I jerk the wheel slightly as the picture of the monster is now in my head, and all of my, theories and everything are now completely confirmed that they are absolutely running with the worm on this. So I'm now going to just bolt to as fast as the car can take to the coven. What do we call it?
Chantry?
The
To
yeah, there you go.
the chantry that you
Chantry.
work out of, that is perhaps most central to your current location and the one that you know best, is known as the V8 chantry. And if you head to that, if you guys are deciding on heading to that chantry, then we're gonna have to call it here because I actually need to do more work on that chantry to even role play it decently. So I'd like to thank you guys for playing. I had a great time. Do you want to do a soliloquy, either one of you? All right, you go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stare off through the passenger window, finding so many things so odd tonight. Letting the woman drive me, reflected on visions of things that have come, thinking about that black, tarry, rubbery, toothy, tentacle-ridden thing, and how it moved so fast, even when I was driving, flying down the road, rubber to asphalt, meeting it good. A police car, and it just kept coming and coming like some horse-bred nightmare. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I still feel a trembling inside myself. I carefully wait till she looks away, carefully line a little bump up for my one hitter. That keeps me awake. I don't want to fall back down there to sleep. I don't want to dream, because I know even if it can't get me here, there it's gonna come. It's gonna come charging up behind me and devour me. And what the hell happened with that car? It was like I was the car. It was like I was the car, or can I dare to dream and say I was the car with flame and orange and green, a beautiful thing in the night sky, speeding down that highway, flying, soaring, and I always thought just once I'd be good enough to fly down the road, and I did. I did when my life was on the line in that time that I needed it the most, and I heard those voices drive. Powers of the mind. What kind of weaving is this? What could it be? There's old stories. The blues men sing down these roads. On that highway did I meet the devil. Did he come shooting out the back of that trunk? Could that have been him? Could that have been an answer to my prayers? I remember in the Bible, Jesus didn't like the Romans. Jesus didn't like the Pharisees. Maybe that's all these goddamn pigs are, is Roman Pharisees, as tax collectors, as cheaters, as swindlers, as evildoers. Yeah, Jesus must know that I'm the good guy. I'm the knight in shining, flaming armor of Detroit steel. Yeah, Jesus loves me. This I know. The devil, you can suck my big red neck cock.
Good shit. Do you want to do one?
Sure. So as
All
I'm
right.
driving down, I'm trying to get to Chantry. I'm just communing with my familiar using mind abilities and running over the events of what happened and everything that we did in order to prove that they were running with the Weaver, and how close I must have been to being corrupted myself, and how fear is starting to enter my mind and my body, and how I'm basically, touching the wolf's head, trying to calm down enough to drive this goddamn vehicle to where we need to go. And how I'm reminding myself that there was a wolf there, and how he was going to have me, and how he must have been a spiral dancer, or at least going down that path, walking the spiral, and how I could have been and how stupid I must have been to have gone down there and tried to do this on my own without a pack, without having informed the pack, and how I was trying to do things the mage way, as the Cabal would have me do, and how ridiculous this must have been, and how I must convince them to talk to the pack nearby and convince the pack to look past what I've become and to join forces in order to wipe this out before it reaches people, before it reaches nature and starts to destroy everything, and try to find the origin of where this chemical came from, and try to just plans, massive amounts of plans, in order to appeal to the Cabal and to appeal to the nearby whatever pack there may be nearby, to join us in wiping this out before more innocents are taken, before more mages or more werewolves are brought into this darkness that will destroy utterly. And yeah, that's all I have.
Good shit. All right, guys, that was fucking awesome. That went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go. So once again, this was a awakening scene, and it's in celebration for Mage the Ascension's 20th anniversary. It's a great game. I recommend everyone pick it up. Also, got to recommend Within the Ring of Fire. I'll let your main man do his plug.
If you like Within the Ring of Fire, if you like excellent acting, if you like encouragement to soliloquies and high octane role playing, check out Drive Through RPG and pick up the first 5 books from Within the Ring of Fire in physical copies. And you can hit me up with Andrew Wood on Facebook if you want to get a special deal. Only $75, only $75 for every PDF that ever be released for Within the Ring of Fire. They get you the first 5 immediately, and all the others that will come out for Within the Ring of Fire line, you get those at no additional charge, and you'll get those first. You come join us on Raw Immersive Games, a great place to find gamers. These people over on Raw Immersive Games, you can find all kinds of games over there. You can find Within the Ring of Fire games, live games on Skype, on Google+, on physical contact as well. So come over there, join us, join that community. A very positive, best role-play community you're going to find. And we look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right, and that seems to be it. Thank you guys for watching, whoever was or whoever might ever watch this. Hopefully this will start a series of Mage the Ascension games. I do intend on making this a long-term game. There will be other players who I'm going to possibly run Awakening scenes. I've been doing Awakening scenes on text-based games, but I may do a few for people who haven't done theirs yet over Google+. So look out for that. And hopefully once we have all the mages awakened, we can actually start doing full mage games. So, Andrew. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.